to very early stream, so we'll see how this goes. As it is way before midnight. So, you know what I gotta do first thing, as always, is roll some ads. So, we will be back in 3 minutes to kick off the evening. Okay, so I am just gonna start with tarot. So, the reason I decided to stream. Hi, how are you? It's so early for me. You should not expect me to stream this early. I know you're kind of new here. It's very rare that I'm doing like a fucking like daywalkers might still catch this one. It's like 9 p.m. bedtime stream. No, no, no. We are creatures of the night over here for the most part. Um, it's going good though. I just did some bonus videos for Aries, Gemini, and Pisces over on YouTube. Let me link those for you. I don't know what your sign is. I cannot remember. I also moved my microphone because people on YouTube were complaining about my sound a lot, like in the comments. So I moved the mic, but no one on Twitch ever complains about it. So let me know if it's like too loud or if I should move it again or anything like that. But we've got the new December playlist. Um, I actually lost my voice this past week, so okay, cool. I lost my voice. That's why I haven't been streaming, and that's why my bonus videos are a little late. I meant to do them when it was still November, but time I got my voice back, I was too busy to do the videos, and then by the time I did them today, I didn't realize it was December already. So while I was doing the Pisces video, for some reason, I was reminded of the way that I used to read tarot, and I wanted to do a, an old school, like, I used to kind of have my own spread. And then after a while, I was just like, no, I'm just going to let the cards fall out how they want to. And it's funny because in the Pisces video, I didn't do the spread, but I wanted to come on stream and do it instead. I actually realized that I should have cleared this space a little bit better before I started this. Um, chairs. Yeah, yeah. And I feel like there's a few things that I wouldn't mind talking about afterwards too. So definitely stick around for that. I don't, oops, I just heated this up instead of turning it off. So you know what we're about to do is just rip it again, you know. I don't smoke weed. I'm an adult. Vape. My favorite joke. Okay, so we're gonna do the old school, and what it is basically a pyramid or a Christmas tree. It's been known to happen. So I'm gonna do a pyramid style spread. Like I said, this is like a classic. Like way before I was into streaming, way before I was illy like this is what I used to always do a pyramid. And then 5 face down cards at the end for future cards. And that was my spread. So just depending on what the person wanted to know would determine what layer of the pyramid meant what. But usually the top or where everyone is was the starting point. And if the pyramid was in the upright and the point was at the top, it was sort of like going through different areas of your life. Whereas if the pyramid point was at the bottom, it was kind of like uh, branching off from one situation that was like the roots. You know what I'm saying? Rather than the building blocks of life. It was like the root cause of some situations that were sort of yeah. I always liked it. I always like. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't remember a distinct time when I switched, but like I said, I just always now shuffle the cards until they fall out and just make the spread based on the cards. So I don't know what reminded me in the Pisces video. It was just kind of like even a channeled message of just like traditional reading. But I decided to do it on stream instead of in the video. But you can still check out the bonus videos. I put the link in the chat. Um, there's only the 3 highest view counts of my Zodiac videos always get bonus videos. So it's like every other week I do Zodiac videos on YouTube. Sometimes more often than that. Sometimes it's like 10 days between, so I'll do 3 sets in a month. And then I do bonuses for the top 3 highest views. The weeks in between or the days between. I switch up the decks for the zodiac readings as often as I can because I only have I don't know 7 or 8 decks. Um, but usually I just go with the Thoth deck for the bonus videos because it's general and it's like my most standard overall deck. I guess we got our future cards. And there's literally 5 of them. That's so cute. That's how you know we're ready for the pyramid. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Oh my god, you guys, this is just gorgeous. I'm obsessed already. Wait till you see what's at the top of the pyramid. I just went to draw one and I grabbed 2. That's beautiful. Here. I feel like this is the top of the deck, and there's two of them. Oh, because I used to start with the big, not big three. That's astrology, but I would always have the three to start, and then the pyramid and the five at the end. And it's exactly what we're gonna do. We'll do one at the bottom. Okay, maybe we'll do five. I'll do five. I'll do five. I don't have room, but we're gonna. I feel like I'm supposed to split the deck. Okay. Wow. I don't like where I split it, to be honest with you. It's not good either. 69 though. Nine, but the six is in reverse. And you don't want the six in reverse. You'd much rather have the nine in reverse. They're both swords. So high conflict times. I feel like some kind of conflict is going on and you have not resolved it. So that's interesting because I didn't think that's what this reading was going to be about at all whatsoever, but it's almost like we just added a layer to the pyramid to represent the conflict, is kind of what I'm getting. Oh, four swords, truce. There is some resolution coming for that situation. Okay. There is resolution coming. I don't think that's what the reading is going to be all about, but I feel like you needed that message. Um, I need a third card here, and then I'm going to adjust. Take it off the top. This is situational, so it's just anything in life. Um, all of the main topics have a deck designated to them. This is the only one that's designated to everything. Because this is my OG deck. This is my number one. This is the first one I got. This is how I learned tarot. This is how I taught myself tarot, really. I had a witchy aunt to kind of give me the basics of what tarot was and what the cards and the suits were. And then I found this deck in a hippie shop. No booklet, nothing, no instructions, no name. And I learned tarot on my own. And now I give insane tarot readings. Mind blowing, really. And I say that stuff, and you might think, oh, she's cocky, she's conceited, she's not that good, she'd be, her channel would be bigger, and blah, blah. Listen, there's a blockage on my shit. I'm not allowed to read my own cards. And that's been a huge hindrance in everything that I do in my life because I'm like, oh, well, the cards say this and that. Yeah, and the cards are accurate for everyone else. So why wouldn't I believe in myself? But it just doesn't work that way for me for some reason. So now that I've accepted that, we can expect it to keep rolling. But my readings are insanely good for other people. It's super accurate. I was actually mentioning this in one of my bonus videos today. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like talking about how some of the readings that I've done, even personal readings, where people will be like, yeah, I watched it again a year later and everything happened. Like crazy stuff. Especially because I've always done the yearly read specials, and I should put that back. Well, oh my god, y'all, there's so much going on. We'll get to the chat after this. Let's do the spread, and then we'll chat a little bit because I got so much going on. Um, but it's weird because it feels like a chatty moment because y'all are really intrigued by the side messages more than the actual cards because the cards are a general reading. I'm sensing that. Yes. Shout out to lurkers all over the world. Gotta love it. So bottom of the deck is the Four of Swords, which is truce. That's why I was saying that stuff about the conflict being resolved because those high conflict cards came out intermittently, and that's why I feel sidetracked from the reading in a sense. But maybe I'm meant to just give it a little bit of time, anyways, and so it's like a nice. Okay, you know what? I have not been doing a lot of chat. I just looked at the timer and it was 4:44, so it was 14 minutes and 44 seconds. And I was about to say, I have not been channeling on stream anymore. period. I don't even think my guides and gods will let me anymore because I decided that I didn't want to. And now, anytime I'm about to channel something on stream lately, I stop and I just divert it and I just continue the reading or continue the conversation. Like, I always know when I'm about to channel someone, but I decided that it's not, it's like I appreciate my subscribers. The ad money is obviously not that much, even though we're forced to roll the ads. Um, I appreciate that I get paid, but I don't get paid well enough to be channeling all the time like I was because it's way more exhausting work than I give myself credit for. Um, a lot of people who can do what I do don't do what I do. And to me, I'm like, no, it doesn't exhaust me at all. What do you mean? But what I also wasn't paying attention to is that it was keeping me awake for 20 hours a day, right? And like up all night and infinite channeling. I was losing pieces of myself in that way. Yeah. But I wouldn't, I just, whatever. It was like I was spaced out all the time. I was never drained. I was just channeling constantly almost, because I was streaming so much and doing a lot of personal readings and just was pretty much nonstop. And then, of course, I'm an artist too, so you use those fumes and the channeling to create with too. It's like, whoa. And you get so invested in those beliefs that there's like almost no space to argue that it could be any other factors coming from outside of it to be of influence until perhaps it's too late. Like, oh, you start to feel the effects of not sleeping and not eating and not taking breaks and not being drained and not being fueled either. Like a very, very hollow kind of feeling that it can leave. So I took a tea break. I've talked about this so much on stream. I took a tarot, tolerance, and Twitch break. And in my month off, I took the month of September off, things got a little off kilter, but I took a step back and was like, maybe none of this is real. I don't even know what I believe, and I should never smoke pot again. All this other crazy stuff. And I was just like, all right, I gotta get it together. I don't even know if I'm going to stream anymore. I'm only going to stream reading books. Like that was my compromise. That lasted like 2 weeks, and I was like, "Okay, I don't ever stream reading, so we should just go back to tarot and chatting, and just taking it down a notch." So once more, I decided I'm not gonna do the channeling as much anymore, but I'll still do these, kinda group readings and tarot sessions. Because to me, half a conversation is a tarot conversation. That's why I just always stay in the tarot category, but sometimes we do get a little off topic, and we'll just ramble about other random stuff. I find that the just chatting category draws a different kind of crowd. Just tarot crowd, and they get me more. So I stick to this category unless we're doing art or something or reading. I don't really do my makeup on stream anymore. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know why we were giving so much back information on my readings, but again, it just came up in the Pisces reading. I was like, ah, I remember my back in the day readings, and they were good. They're all good. I do so many different kind of spreads. I love. Ooh, I just dropped a card. I just dropped the truce. I love the circular ones too, where I'll go like a clock. Um, yes, the tarot category is more intimate. I agree. Yes, 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 yes. Um, yeah, I have subs who didn't even who they like continued to sub during my month off because they were just like knew I was coming back, So sweet. Let me put up this card. Um, truce, coming to terms with things, and then the Ace of Swords was underneath it, so knowledge coming through about things. Um, it's weird because I feel like I'm still supposed to be chatting more. I don't expect anyone else to really come to the stream because, like I said, I don't usually stream this early. Like ever. This is 9 o'clock. This is crazy. I didn't even post about it. That's what I'm saying. I feel like there was a separate sidebar thing that came up, and I feel like that's what we're supposed to do. And this is more general because that's not the vibe of this at all. But I am planning on doing the pink deck for my zodiac readings this week. So it'll be soulmate and love reading. Yeah, that's coming up this week. So, um, did they do drugs? Why am I itching my arm like that? Inside. Hmm. They do drugs? Yeah. It's what's your sign? I can't remember. I know I always ask people. I don't remember yours though. I don't know if you are Aries, Gemini, or Pisces, but I did bonus videos, or if your Venus is in any of those sides of your chart. Um, but maybe you can check out the bonus videos. It's no way. Oh, you're gonna hate that. The Aries video is all about falling in love and stuff. The Pisces video was a lot about taking advice. Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Um, so sorry. So sorry if that answers any of your questions. You know. Um, yeah, I am. My Mars is in Pisces and my rising is Scorpio. Scorpios are big manifestors. I don't know. I'm not though. I got a blockage on that stuff. I don't. I put the block on myself probably. But yeah, and there's a lot of conversation to be had, but again, it's so early that I don't think any of the regs are gonna show up to the streets. That's like I can't stream late either. I can't be here till midnight. I feel like there's so much going on, so much interesting right now. I haven't streamed it. Um, I could care less cards in a moment, but let's get through the reading. I don't know. I don't think it'll be good for you at this point. But maybe I'll just draw a few more. But not really. I feel like the whole point is that we're doing messages. So that's what I was talking about with channeling. You were saying your guides and getting messages from your guides. I feel like I need to learn how to um get a download without hosting and channeling for the whole what? I don't know how to phrase that. Like receiving a download and then saying it in your own bodied way. I feel like that's what I need to more incorporate on the stream rather than actual channeling, because channeling in itself is um, very draining, as we talked about. But also, I was just touching the eon, I was just sliding it up and down, and that's the judgment card. You know what? Maybe we start at the bottom of the pyramid. That's what this is about because I'm looking at the top and I'm like, there's no way I'm starting with that card. It's going to be a big reveal. Now I feel better about it because I said too when I added the fifth layer and then had to go back and put in the fourth, I said this is an added conflict that we weren't expecting because we got the disruption of the 6-9. This all makes a lot more sense now. Okay, we're ready. I was like, something don't feel right. Something don't feel right. Something don't feel right. I'm not ready. I don't want to. I'm gonna wait. Da, 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 da. Figured it out. We're gonna start at the bottom. Again, this is how I used to do all my readings pretty much. I'd make exceptions to variations of this spread, like maybe sometimes people would do a block where it would be the same amount in each row rather than a pyramid style, but the pyramids was like one of my earliest spreads. So we have the Ten of Cups, which is satiety, and that's everything that you could ever want and then some. It is the cup overfloweth. So that's a great spot to be in. We have the Queen of Cups. So we could be dealing with a mother figure, or you could be a mother, or you're dealing with your own mother, or well, you're a water sign, so that's cool too. And then we have the Five of Swords, which is defeat. So again, this conflict that is happening in your life, which again This is obviously going to feel like a very personal reading because you are the only one receiving it. But if you're watching the replay, just know that you're meant to watch the replay. And the beauty of sometimes the smaller channel is that it seems very personal and intimate because there's only a few people who come to relate to it. So I've always really liked that about my readings. But do subscribe, share, like, all so do follow all of those things. So help the channel and help the reach, but appreciate the intimacy for what it is, right? Yeah. So well, I'm gonna start with the Eon because that's the card that I was touching when I realized it, and I'm also, I'm also coming from trying not to come from a place of judgment, right? That's like what I was just talking about. Um, where I started to judge myself in the way that I might be judged. Okay. But we got the Queen of Discs, so we're looking at good finances, good financial forecast, looking out on your things, your things. That's so weird. Okay, it's funny because I just got this feeling of hunger, even though just I ate not long ago. Sometimes it's hard when you don't replenish in between tarot readings. And it was like not until I started it that I was like, oh, am I hungry? And so I got very distracted from what I was saying. Um, the Queen of Discs, she's looking out over her for the fruits of her labor, basically. There's something blocking you or that you don't see or that needs to come to surface and be in the forefront of your mind. And that's something in reverse. So it's the opposite of whatever this card is. The Hangman. There's some things that you need to let go of and be less dedicated to, whether you realize it or not. It's time that you face the reality that some things need to be let go. We do have the sun and the moon together here, which is so nice to see. We love to see the night and day. We love to see things aligning in that way. We love, love, love to see that. The sun obviously is like looking forward and bright futures. The moon is like getting through your darkest times. They're both really very great cards, and the moon is Pisces. And with the sun, you can think Leo because Leo is ruled by the sun, even though it's the strength card in tarot. In this deck, it's lust. I was moving my cards, and the Prince of Swords got left behind. So once again, that conflict arising, um, definitely speaking volumes. So we have the Princess of Swords, right as I was talking about the Prince of Swords. So again, there's some pettiness going on, some petty conflict, and it needs to be resolved so that you can move on and keep going towards these other positive things that you have going on, like, maybe steady career, good finances. You need to let go of the pettiness and the conflict so that you can keep those things in balance and keep yourself in check so that you can handle those things. Think of them as your checks and balances. We have the Fool here, so it's going on a new journey, embarking on a new thing. Um, and Two of Swords, peace. The real journey begins when you do find peace among these things, when you do let go of the stuff that's holding you back or that you shouldn't be holding on to. Um, and that journey of peace might, to say, when you stop fighting for something and you stop holding on to something does not necessarily mean that you are completely healed from it or able to deal with it emotionally because we still have the 10 of wands. So there's still plenty of anxiety, stress, depression, or very big feelings to be grappled with, even once you deal with and get through this period of conflict or whatever this pettiness that keeps arising. Because again, we saw the Nine of Swords, cruelty, Six of Swords in reverse, which is science. That's a good card to get up, right? Then we had the Prince and the Princess of Swords back to back. So there's like clearly some heavy conflict. We got the Four of Swords, truce, dropped it. Have the Peace card, the Two of Swords with the Ten of Wands. It's this conflict situation. I'm emphasizing it a lot because it's petty conflict. It's not some grand gesture of thing. I don't know how else to word that. not a noble cause. Okay. We have the Magus here, faking the magic, not the magician. It's a one-off. Sometimes this card represents fake it till you make it. So you could be kind of faking your confidence or working on your manifestations. You haven't brought it into reality yet. Sometimes it's convincing yourself that you have. But Luna, I'm going to make a side note in your case because the next card is Aries. The Emperor. Fake. That's that's a fake bitch right there. That's a fake motherfucker right there. So you're done. Completion, 4 of Wands. So if you're not dealing with an Aries, though, I think it's more about faking it till you make it. Faking it like it's like okay, I don't understand the phrase imposter syndrome. 'Cause I feel like it should be the opposite. Where like people are like, oh, I have imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm not good enough for the things that I do. And it's like, what about the people who are convinced that they are good enough and fake it till they make it? That sounds like an imposter, like someone who doesn't do this and was just like convinced and convinced everyone else that they could. That's imposter syndrome, right? Not the reverse. Like fake it till you make it, imposter syndrome. So give yourself that good imposter syndrome and just fake it till you get to that position of power, get to that rank that you want. Okay. But if you are dealing with an Aries, they might be fake as fuck, and it's time to end that cycle. Love readings coming for YouTube this week, all the zodiac videos. We have adjustment and the Ace of Discs, which is Libra, and securing the bag. So, adjustment is usually justice. So, it could be that justice is coming to the situation, but you might be getting used to a new job, a new stream of income, or a need to feel more secure and stable in your finances. I can see that happening right now, but it is something that you're getting used to. So, it might be something new to you. And at the top of the pyramid, what do we have? Behold the most beautiful and unique card, the Universal Hexagram, designed to be number 80 in this deck. Absolutely lovely. It's the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine coming together in divine union. So this could be a union within the self, or it could be with a counterpart. Either way, it's a very beautiful card, and I love seeing it at the top of the pyramid that we climbed so high for. We have some future cards here, so let's see how it all works out. You're not gonna believe this. This is the cutest thing that has ever happened. This is the cutest thing that has ever happened. I could cry right now. Yeah. What did I just say? Divine feminine and divine masculine coming together in divine union. What's the future forecast? Love. The Two of Cups, its motherfucking self. That is, you can't make that shit up. Four of Discs, another beautiful card. Things coming into place. Having the four things you value the most in this world, whether it's your house, your car, your bank account, and your job, or if it's money, drugs, bitches, liquor, or if it's family, friends, fun, and, you know, whatever else that it is that you value. Okay, you have it. Oh my God. Three of Wands virtue. Oh, I love to see this card, especially in the future position, because virtue is really being virtuous and staying true to your morals. It's not even staying true to yourself, like the Eight of Discs is prudence, right? So that's really staying true to who you are. But virtue is like being dedicated to what you believe in and standing by the things that you believe in. So going by your own moral code, it's very hard to do that. It's very hard to do that. And this lineup right now, y'all. These were the first five, mind you, first five cards that came out, all face down, right? And I had the intention of pulling five cards at the end. face down as future cards, just like I used to do in my old spreads. If you go back and watch the beginning of the reading, you will see the whole explanation and you can see the first part of the pyramid that you missed if you were just tuning in. But these were the first five cards that I drew, and then we did the whole pyramid of the present. They have these five future cards. Best five cards in the deck. I didn't even get to number five yet. And it is, well, beautiful. As if the four of discs being in power wasn't enough. We just got straight up, well, 10. 10. 10. What do we think this last one is? I hope it's a major arcana. Got a lot of major arcana in the pyramid itself, but what do you think? It's not major. Swiftness. Eight of Wands. I would have never expected that. So, following your passion, speaking your emotions, acting on your feelings. Amazing. Going in many directions. That is so beautiful. Welcome to the stream, by the way, everyone. I just did one of my traditional spreads that I used to do. I always do general readings, but of course, when we have small crowds like this, you can ask Luna. We've gotten a lot of like personal messages tonight and random cards that I pulled. Is it she her pronouns? I'm sorry, I didn't ask sooner. Um, but I'm down to do another spread. I can do um, another pyramid if we're interested in that, or um, something else because I used to do the blocks too, like I said. But that was really beautiful. So um, yeah, we have the seven. I just shuffled them because I always shuffle in between, but two cards came out, and it's the Seven of Wands, which is Valor. So it's like facing things head on, being very brave, and then something blocking you or the cause of you having to be brave. Six of Discs, success. As if those cards couldn't have been any better. This is like you having to step up and face your own success. Okay, especially if you're an artist, because we have, or a Sagittarius, because we have the art card here, which is typically temperance in most tarot decks. Um, but in this scenario, the Sagittarius card is art. So that's very interesting. This was a great reading. I highly recommend if you tuned in to the end to go back and watch this stream from the beginning. We're only 37 minutes in, and if you've been here for at least 10 minutes, then it's not that much to catch up on. And I started with the tarot. I did start like the beginning of the stream is me talking about the old spreads and stuff. Some of my own personal history with tarot, but the reading starts off pretty quickly. Nice. That's so dope. So dope. I love to hear. I love to hear that. And like I was saying earlier, and I think in the Pisces video today, um, I sometimes do readings, and it can take some time before there's any kind of evidence that it is happening or happened or anything like that. And once more, I feel like we talked about it on stream, but I mentioned in the Pisces video today, I think Pisces, where I've had people come back and tell me a year later that some of the things I predicted a year ago ended up coming true or whatever. But some people think they get a reading or hear something like on the internet and it's gonna happen this week. It's not always foresight is not for now. It's foresight. It's out there. It's anytime. And you might even put a block on things or a stall on things by trying to figure out when it happened. Some things are best forgotten and remembered rather than thought about all the time. So, um, split the deck to that. Does anybody have any questions or any breath to take? I don't want to jump right straight into another reading, but if you're just tuning in, thank you for being here. This is not my usual time of streaming. I usually stream a bit later than this, so it's been a rather quiet night, but I have a lot of fun over here on Twitch, that's for sure. Um, this is my Thoth deck, so this is what I use. This is the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck, and it's my main tarot deck. It's my generational, situational and general tarot readings. So it's anything can come up. It can be about any topic, whereas my other decks are kind of specific to category. Um, I do YouTube videos and I put out some bonuses today. If you want to check those out, you can. I will link you to the playlist for December and sometime either this weekend or early this week. I will be putting out zodiac videos using my pink deck, which is relationships, love, and soulmate connection. Let's talk about being a witch. I love that question and I love that topic, honestly. If y'all are okay with sticking around, I will pull more cards if we want. Like I said, I just kind of like taking a breath between readings because the pyramid reading was really good. It was kind of long too. It was 30 minutes straight, you know. Yeah. So once more, if you want, I did the bonus videos are just whichever three zodiac videos get the highest views, I do bonuses of. So this week it was Aries again. Thank you to all the Aries out there. Sorry. um, Gemini and Pisces. Yeah, so later this week there will be more zodiac videos and there will be the readings. But tonight I'm just doing some Thoth deck because this is the deck that I learned on. And so this is where the pyramid um, spread came from, was me using this deck in my early readings. I know I already told you that, Luna, but again, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I'll do a little more tarot tonight, no problem. But right now, let's just talk about witches. Yeah, of course, of course. Um, so for me, I can't remember an earlier reference to witches than Practical Magic, the movie from 1997. I was obsessed with that movie as a kid. I used to make little like leaf potions in bowls, wooden bowls, and outside and pick leaves and use intentions and cast spells, you know? Um, and as I got older, I think I always wanted magic to be real, but I didn't necessarily believe in it. And I also have a Catholic school background. So I think a lot of religious beliefs are based in magic. For fuck's sake, a lot of it is like, I'm sorry, you just said Jesus could raise someone from the dead and make someone walk when they didn't have use of their legs, and also flip tables in the temples and didn't go to jail. Okay, so what you're talking about is miracles. And miracles would definitely fall under the category of magic, would it not? Jesus was a necromancer, and I consider myself a necromancer because I talk to the dead just like Jesus did. But he actually raised them from the dead, so he was a traditional necromancer. But technically, by definition, a necromancer reanimates the dead in any way. And so, me being able to channel or perceive and see dead people, it's more of a mind's eye thing. It's both, it's a little bit of both. It's like in your mind's eye, but you see it by looking out without it being an apparition right in front of you. So it's like a reanimation of the dead. Still constitutes a sacrament. So you're asking me about witches, and she's like, she just went on a tangent about necromancers. I don't know if I want to know what she thinks of witches. Well, here's the thing. I've been a witch since day one. I just said when I was a kid, I made potions and did spells and had cast intentions on things. Um, I've always been a witch in that way. I don't know what extent I believe a witch has power. I don't think it's like American Horror Story Coven all the time. Like I said, I'm a necromancer. I don't think I can bring a dead body back to life by any means. I never said that, never claimed to have that power, right? So I think it's like the extremes of magic. questionable. And so what we traditionally see as a witch who points fingers and has green skin or flies a broomstick, questionable. A lot of it is just herbs. It's just being an herbalist. It's just being a witch doctor. It's just using your own remedies. It's just, even historically speaking, it was just women who could take care of themselves that got accused of being witches. So what does that even really mean? Especially when you see bitch being so closely related to witch, because you can use witch in such a derogatory way, like you're being a witch, you're a witch, instead of saying bitch. And bitch is supposed to be a dog, and a witch is supposed to be someone with magical powers, which was really mostly single women in times of the 1500s, right? Who didn't want to practice mainstream religion, who didn't want to be subservient to men. They were accused of being witches, and women who were more easily dominated or duped by men were bitches. So that's interesting, isn't it? When you break it down like that. Oh, absolutely. Um, but I live like that. I don't mind that feeling. When I was a kid, I used to go to the woods by myself and talk to whatever, whoever. I consider it talking to the trees, but when I was a kid, I was a little more imaginative, right? Um, And I was very curious about death, and I was very obsessed with, like, finding dead bodies in the woods, being very morbid, but I think it was just always the ability to be able to channel dead people, not realizing it, and the dead people trying to get me to realize it. Because I was never into gore, and I was never into scary movies, and I was never into serial killers, and I was never into true crime, and I'm still not into any of that stuff. I'm coming around a little bit more to scary movies, but still not into like slasher gore, dead bodies and stuff. You know what I mean? It's more thriller, psychological, maybe a little bit of murder, something like that. So it's not indicative of my personality, nor was it when I was a kid. I was into the Powerpuff Girls at that age. So it was very weird to have this like other feeling. But at that point, yeah, I was already practicing witchcraft because I watched Practical Magic like way too many times. So when it comes to being a witch, I think that I think if it's in you, it's in you. I think it definitely can be a part of a lineage too, um, because there's a lot of like various practitioners in my family. Some do tarot, oracle, angel, just like different stuff. Some have pyro, some are techno, some are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I come from a line of gifted people. Some of them even do astrology, birth charts, stuff like that. So I think there's definitely something to it, obviously, or none of us would be able to do this. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is always the proof in my pudding is when I do tarot readings and I know information that there's just like no way that I'd be able to know about things that it's just like, okay, there's obviously something to this because where did I get that from? And when it comes to the necromancy, getting personal messages. Because when on stream, you're new, so you missed out on like the heyday of the Twitch stream. Again, this is like a much more real in version of how it was the past couple of years. But when I was channeling a lot, we would just do anybody. I've done Nikola Tesla and Frida Kahlo and Kurt Cobain, and we had regulars like Nico and Janis Joplin and stuff like that. Well, Janis wasn't a regular, but I always did that for her birthday, through a party. Person pop in. John Lennon was a big one. If you go on my Instagram at Illy Millie, you can see a lot of my. I used to stream on there before I did Twitch, so you can see some of the old ones, and usually they're titled. And I have all my streams posted on my website, but you can't access them right now because I'm switching over. It's a whole thing. We'll talk about it later. Um, so I used to just do anyone. And there's no way to prove what you're saying about a dead celebrity. Like, I don't have authority to say whether or not that stuff is true. But there would be stuff that I would say, and then we would Google it, and that would be true. And we would find out that way. And that was always pretty cool. But then where it really comes in is when people get personal readings, or if I channel someone personal to someone watching the stream, which happened a few times when we were doing it, because I would always try to establish a base ground. and some pick a random person on stream and connect with one of their loved ones and just get a couple messages, and they'd be able to confirm whether it was an accurate description of them, birth date, a name, an accent, even like places and stuff like that. Um, just to kind of establish the connection. That's really where it was like, okay, there just has to be something to this, or there's no way that I would be able to like know the things that I've known about people and their deceased loved ones. So even at times, like again, when I keep saying the word again, and it's kind of annoying me. Oh, I'm a writer, so I stay very conscious of those things. I try not to be too repetitive in my speech because when you're writing, it gets old seeing the same word over and over again. And I assume it's that way when you read as well or listen. So, um, trying to stay on topic of the witch thing, but I feel like this is what I'm getting at is that my practice being necromancy and tarot doesn't necessarily make me a witch, and my practicing witchcraft isn't very witchy. I don't have a grimoire. I don't follow people's recipes. I'm a chaos magic type person, if anything. And lately I haven't been doing it that much because when I took my tolerance break, as I mentioned earlier, back in September, I took tarot, twitch, and tea break. Um, I had very much questioned my beliefs. I But a few months before that, I was like I've always done readings for myself, and I'd get my downloads for everyone else on stream and get in touch and talk to all these people and channel all this stuff, right? And then do my own included. Okay. Well, nothing ever seems to be super accurate. I was starting to get frustrated. I was like, none of this is true. None of this aligns with my life. None of this is what the fuck? What the fuck? No. This ain't it. I don't even know if I believe in this stuff anymore. I had to take a break. So I haven't been doing my rituals and my potions. Like again, if you watch the old streams, I used to just drink them on here because I usually use a wine base if I'm doing any kind of ritualistic potion making. And for me, it's all about intention. I've never hexed anyone really. The one time I was gonna like put a curse on somebody, I reversed it and put a blessing instead. Um, I'm not super into witchcraft, traditional witchcraft. Um, I have very much my own unique practice. So that's what draws people to this channel. That's a lot of people like that about me and my readings. Um, However, a lot of people call me a witch. A lot of people assume I'm a witch. A lot of people say I'm a witch. A lot of people identify me as a witch. I don't care. I would say sure, yeah. Have been since I was a kid, but right. I do too, but I get that people need a direction, and that's honestly the difference between a practitioner and a follower. And I don't think there's anything wrong with following. It's just like any other religion has followers. You have Jesus and his disciples, and then you have the followers of Christ, and then you have Christians. Okay. The Christians are simply moving through the motions and doing what they're told. They're doing rituals. Okay, so I have a Catholic background. I'm confirmed Catholic. I went to Catholic school for a really long time. My fingers are itching a lot, and I guess that means money's coming. So it could be a message to share, but I just can't stop scratching my fingers right now. And it just kind of started out of nowhere. So um, they say when your palms itch, money's coming, but it's my fingers. So it's kind of, I feel like it's a get ready to work moment, but the money will be there. But you're gonna have to lift your fingers to get it. Okay, it's not gonna just fall into your lap. I just side note. Um, but anyways, um, followers of Christ were more willing to stand up for their beliefs, die for what they believe. Think of the martyrs and the saints; they would be followers of Christ, where they dedicated their whole lives to it. They taught people what to do and stuff like that. But of course, they learned from who? The disciples. So you're talking about even more. They're the ones who have the esteem and the hierarchy within the system, okay? And then you have Jesus himself, who was the chosen one or the God or who, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so take that same dynamic and that same hierarchy, and you can still apply it to Wicca, or I don't want to say Wicca because I feel like Wicca really has its own religious background. And right now we're just talking about like generalized witchcraft and practice in that sense. So if you take that same recipe, same formula, same idea, there's no real unanimous figure that could represent Jesus in this case. So I would not say Aleister Crowley, but he kind of concocted Wicca and Satanism as we know it in the modern world by his own devious devices. I'm not going to give him, he would be more like a follower of Christ in that way, more like one of the saints, where he was a major practitioner. He forged his own path. He was dedicated to the craft, even though I guess he was kind of a satirical bastard, right? We're not a huge fan, but we love this tarot deck. He didn't draw it though, so I feel like it's like, I can't remember her name. Frida Kahlo Harris, something. It's maybe not Kahlo, but Frida Harris. Frida something Harris. I think she's the one who drew it. Or is she the one who did the Rider Waite? It's terrible. I don't remember. I kind of want to just look it up real quick. Actually, put some respect on her name. Lady Frida Harris. Okay, I knew it was three names, and I got Frida Harris right, so at least I did remember. I was just like, Kahlo? No. Lady Frida Harris. She drew the deck. So, again, trying to stay on topic of actually, you were asking about the label of witch. Um, all in all, I don't mind the label personally, but I don't even think that what I constitute as is much of a witch. But I'm not a follower, right? I'm not like I am a Christian. I'm a Christian. I don't go to church anymore, but I did my whole life, and I love Jesus and the teachings of Jesus, and I try to follow in his footsteps. Um, you know what I'm saying? But his actual footsteps, not his church footsteps, because those were put in place by other people. That is like a very, very longly, of course, very longly translated. Um, but you know what's kind of funny is I have to roll ads in 5 minutes, and it's still a pretty small crowd. I don't even know if I feel like doing any more tarot, or if I'm just gonna do chat mode for a little bit before I go. Um, because I'm much more interested in the conversations than the tarot readings. If no one's really tuning in for the reading, um, well, most videos get some replay time, but this was such a good question. I feel like we could just keep deep diving on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I might just go back to chat mode after the break to continue the conversation. Or I'll stay in tarot mode in case people do come on, but I don't want to disrupt what we're talking about just to do tarot readings for who? Randos? That was another thing I had to really kind of distinct when it came to the stream was like I was channeling people who were watching. They didn't have to chat to get channeled. And my view count was always a lot higher when I would do that because it would be like saying stuff and people would stick around because I'd just channel everyone and everything that came on. But now I don't give as much to people who lurk and try to focus more on people who chat, people who follow, people who actually interact with the channel and aren't just like watching and lurking and wasting the energy. You know what I mean? So I've noticed a difference in that too. But um, like I said, I only have a few minutes before I have to roll ads. So we're going to take a little 3 minute break. I always recommend getting up, stretch some legs, get a snack, get some water, go to the bathroom, pen and paper, whatever it is that you got to do. Um, I guess I'll decide on the break if we come back and stay in tarot mode or if we go into chat mode. I feel like there was a few things, I don't know, there was like announcements and stuff that I was gonna make, but that's more for my crowd. It's not really replay stuff, and it's like, I can tell you, but I'm just kind of repeating myself, which is fine, I repeat myself all the time. Different people watch different streams. So there was some stuff that, yeah, I did wanna chat about, but again, all my regulars aren't here, and they're probably not gonna be here because 'cause I'll probably be done streaming before the time that I would regularly start streaming. So, it's just kind of a weird night in that way, but next time I stream, it's gonna be very similar conversation probably. So, I'll decide on the break if we stay in chat mode or terror mode, but we will finish up the witchcraft question or conversation. Yeah, yeah. Go back to a job? No, don't be sorry. Oh, you have to go. Yeah, 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 no problem. Um, Thank you for being here. Have fun. I don't remember where you're from or if you told me at all, but, thank you for coming, tuning in, and I hope you like the reading. But yes, I gotta roll ads, so 3 minutes, I will be back. And we're back. So I'm just gonna do chat mode. I'm gonna be wrapping it up soon. It's an early night. Started early, planned on ending early. We did a great reading. The pyramid was really cool, really fun. Um, Something I was gonna talk about was my website. So I have had my website. I'll show it to you all. It's advertised everywhere. It is dailybilly.com. It's got all my tarot options, booking options, music, pictures, art, blog, a whole bunch of stuff on this website. And I pay, as a business person, I pay for the features of having transactions on my website. I have a merch store, I got everything on there. Um, I had to renew my business plan for December 1st, which is today. And so for the past week, I've been like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Why wouldn't I do it? I'm totally happy with Wix. I love my website. Um, Pays for itself. Then I, in this past week, found out that Wix is an Israeli owned company. And I personally am against genocide. So I'm not renewing on Wix. And my website is now kind of more or less broken. It's you can only do certain things on it. You can't not all the features are available anymore because again, I'm no longer a business member on here. I don't think you can book on my website anymore. I don't think you can access my past streams anymore because it's behind a paywall. And none of the paywalls work. It's all turned off. Um, and none of the transactions will go through because I didn't renew. But I made the conscious choice not to support a company based in a country that is funding a genocide. On this channel and every day of our lives, we say free Palestine. So we're not using Wix anymore. It sucks because again, I loved it. I've been using it for years. It's been literally years since I got my website up and running, and it's been an awesome experience. But I just can't do it. It's just a little too much right now. And honestly, having a US based company doesn't feel all that much better when you think about it. Um, but at least it's a lot bigger of a place, a lot more people, and it could be anyone. So I don't know. Our dollars speak way louder than our words sometimes. So we are boycotting, and Wix was on the boycott list, and I wanted to know why, and now I know. Israeli-based company, and they take down websites that are pro-Palestine. So I'm not using it anymore. It's still up, but it's a free version of my website. So there's going to be changes, and I'm shifting some of my content and creating a new website, but it's not done yet. So in the in between, you can check the link tree. I'm pretty sure my Venmo's in there. If you want to ever leave a tip, you can, or if you want to book a reading at this point, that's how you have to do it. So um, probably should have made these announcements at the beginning of the stream, but I was really ready to do the tarot reading. So it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, keeping it early tonight. I probably got to get going already anyway. So thank you for being here, lurker or not. Lurker, chatter, viewer, follower, subscriber. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm happy to have you here every single time. So, I don't know. I might be back. Let me think. Which one's Saturday? Might be back tomorrow. Saturday streams aren't usually so poppin' unless I start super late. But we'll see. We shall see. I can never remember anything lately. This winter brain is what I'm gonna call it. Um, Like I said, I'll probably, well, I am anxious to get back to my videos because I had lost my voice this past week. So I was like not able to do streaming or tarot readings. So I just kind of been missing it. And so I'm very anxious to get back to it. So I want to do the Zodiac videos as soon as possible. Um, but I don't typically love working on Sundays, no matter what the work is. So the earliest I'd be doing the Zodiac videos is Sunday, but I might wait until next week to do them. We shall see. In the meantime, you can watch the bonus videos, which I already linked my YouTube a few times in the chat, but I'll do it one more time before I go. Um, and then, like I said, I'll be dropping love slash soulmate readings this week with my pink deck for each of the zodiac signs. And the highest views get the bonus videos, hence how I chose the bonus videos for this week. So, um, anyways, I am gonna go. 1 hour and 11 minutes seems like a great time. We got one view with 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. That's beautiful. A lot of one. Angel Gang. Um, Enjoy the evening, watch the videos, watch the replay. You can see the pyramid reading from the beginning and work the way up. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a great night. And I love you. And I'll see you next time. And maybe we'll do more traditional spreads. Good night, good day, whatever it is. Good luck your way. Mwah.